It was May 2020, and despite the encroaching wave of COVID-19 pandemic lockdowns, Richard Palmer, founder and chairman of Global Clean Energy Holdings, was thrilled with his new acquisition. Palmer's prize was a rusting, 90-year-old refinery in Bakersfield, California that GCEH was buying for $40 million cash. The seller, Israeli energy conglomerate Delek Holdings, had bought the 500-acre pile of pipes, tanks and distillation towers a decade earlier from the bankruptcy estate of the Flying J truckstop company. Dissuaded by tough California carbon regulations, Delek had hardly touched it. So what did Palmer and GCEH, a publicly traded microcap company, have in mind? To help lead the low-carbon revolution, he says. Ever since he left Enron 2 decades earlier, Palmer had been striving to build a biofuels business, one vertically integrated and optimized, from seed to fuel. Despite missteps, here he was closing on a big piece of the puzzle, a refinery. His vision: never again would fossil petroleum enter the grounds. Instead, GCEH would make only greener fuels, like renewable diesel and sustainable jet fuel. And they would do so using a feedstock with the lowest carbon intensity they could find, the oil-rich seeds of a bushy plant called camelina sativa. Camelina is a potential wonder crop. It thrives in semi-arid conditions, with a short growing cycle, little need for fertilizer or pesticide, and yields seeds that are 40% oil by weight, twice the oil content of soybeans. Before electricity, humans prized camelina for lamp oil. But don't try eating it, due to high levels of nauseating urisic acid, also found in rapeseed-based canola oil. ExxonMobil thought camelina had enough potential that in 2019 it agreed to buy 100 million gallons of camelina-blended fuels that GCEH could produce. After the refinery acquisition, Exxon invested $150 million into GCEH in exchange for preferred stock, giving the oil giant a 20% stake and 2 seats on the board. What more could a biofuels upstart want than to have the backing of an oil giant like Exxon under pressure from all sides to do something about climate change and carbon emissions? GCEH's president Noah Verlun says it would have been hard enough orchestrating a refinery overhaul without the pandemic complications. We knew enough that we weren't sure what we were doing. But we had no idea what we were getting into. What could go wrong? Cost projections soared during the pandemic from $200 million ultimately to $550 million. Citing project delays, Exxon, in early 2023, pulled out of its guaranteed offtake contract. Then in July 2023, Exxon sued GCEH in Delaware Chancery Court to compel the company to open their books for examination by Exxon's representatives. Exxon in its complaint alleged that Palmer's management team had been committing bad behavior, including breaking promises, missing construction deadlines, and expressing a general antipathy toward good corporate governance.